is Reaa Puri. I'm a filmmaker and co-founder at Breaktide Productions. We're an all women of color film production company, and we're rooted in intersectional solidarity. And right now we're making films about environmental racism in Oakland, indigenous sovereignty in Hawaii, and human rights in Kashmir. I grew up between Mumbai, Kuwait, Delhi, and Berkeley, California, so three very different cultures. I went to UC Berkeley and studied film and media there, and after graduating I was working a bunch of different filmmaking jobs where I learned a lot, and it was, fun at the time. And at the same time, I think it wasn't quite enough, because what I really wanted was not only to make great films, but also to be able to live in a world where I could embody my values, and the current filmmaking landscape wasn't really allowing me to do that. So partnering with two other women of color who had similar values was so life-changing for me. We believe that it's not, what we're working towards here is not just a world where underrepresented communities get to represent ourselves. It's actually about what does it mean for us to have power at every stage of the filmmaking process, and what does it mean to inherently transform the way the media landscape works and operates. So that kind of reimagining work is really what we're rooted in. Ownership really requires a level of truth, and introspection. And for me, owning my power also means acknowledging my privilege, acknowledging and making space for my trauma and my pain, making space for my joy and what brings me, just joy and happiness. And I think all of those things work together. And a big part of owning my power and ownership is about really considering how am I in relationship with my world, my planet, and also the people around me, and what does it mean to be in right relationship with each other, because I don't live as an isolated person. Every action I take has a consequence. And I think ownership is a level of truth, and it also requires courage. Quite like the time period I find myself in right now, as the whole world does, I find myself leaning on my community and on family right now. And the really beautiful thing about Breaktide is that we found, as we started, not only were we leaning on each other in moments of our success, but also in moments of our trauma and our pain and loss, and in moments of change and transition. And right now we're undergoing a global transformation. So I think really, this principle of collectivizing and leaning on community, it's really been a big foundation for how I live. And I believe that if more of us centered this principle, I believe it would, be really valuable to not only ourselves, but also everything around us. I think it's similar to what I've just said. I think we're undergoing a painful transition right now, and there's also so much potential for building an entirely new way of thinking and breaking through a lot of our previous conditioning around how we have to show up and how we have to live and how we have to think and exist in this world. And in this unprecedented level of isolation, there is a lot more access into ourselves and into our most radical, biggest dreams. So it's how can we make space for that? And when we do that, how can we lean on community and this principle of collectivizing to make these dreams and possibilities into realities for ourselves and our planet?